top, ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids, own property. Bubble-eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. Don't flash it for. I'm on my grind, not no more fashion show.
Are you looking to start your own cleaning company? Or maybe you started your cleaning company, but you just need a support group, some mentorship, some guidance. Hell, a bidding calculator just to help you know if you're pricing the job correctly. Join us at cleanbiznetwork.app. That's www.cleanbiznetwork.app today and get on the right track with your cleaning company. We have everything you could possibly need to get you going in the right direction and see why we've been the leading cleaning business consulting company for the past 5 years and why they call me, AJ Simmons, the cleaning business GOAT. So I can help you just like I've helped and my company has helped thousands of other people start and grow their cleaning companies. Go to the number one source today, www.cleanbiznetwork.app. Thank you. What up, y'all? Welcome. Happy Friday. Welcome in. What's up, Carolyn?
Hey, happy Friday. Mila, perfect timing, girl.
Right. Perfect. You hop right on in there. What's up, Mila?
What's going on, y'all?
Welcome.
How's everybody's week been?
Ooh.
Busy.
Yeah.
Busy and stressful, but
Same here.
grateful nonetheless. I'm grateful, that's for sure. It could be worse. I definitely had worse weeks.
Facts.
Yeah. I know you got the snow again this week. I think you had snow last week too, right, Carolyn?
Yeah, there was snow last week and snow again today. Actually, I think this is twice in 1 week and maybe last week. I don't know. It's just too much.
Right. All right. Let's see what we got going on.
I had a pretty slow week, but I see you on Instagram, AJ. You still doing them push-ups?
I'm doing them. So I've been uploading them to y'all know I got like a secret hidden YouTube channel too, right? So that was originally my first channel, the Everybody Eats channel. So I post them every day over there. But yep, nonstop. I ain't missed a day yet. So we rolling.
Yeah. There you go. Good way to start the year.
Exactly. All right, let me see who we got up in here. Man, where y'all at? Where y'all from, by the way? I see Oregon. Oh, somebody already said something. Here we go. So we got, who is this? Louis. I can't say that. Right. I'm sorry. Louisiana. All right. Welcome. We got Swisher Dave. Appreciate you checking in. He said first one on here. Kate Celab. Cell Lab. There we go. Something like that. Cell Lab. Tapping in. Who's going to the conference, y'all? That's a definitely great question. Who gonna meet us there, y'all? www.cbnconference.com. Get y'all tickets, y'all. Time is winding down. Y'all got the day. A week from today is over. Ain't gonna be no more ticket sales, y'all. So make sure you get them ASAP. We got Carolina checking in, South Carolina. Freestyle 72. We got Nashville, Tennessee. We got who else? We got Oregon up here. Oregon here, snow is mostly melted by now. That's crazy. Y'all got everybody got snow right now. It seems like
we got the sun back over here.
Okay. Right. It warmed up a little bit better.
Don't include me into that.
We're back. Some came back to Texas. It's not so cold, but it's still cold.
Right.
For us.
We got Tampa. We got who else? Pittsburgh, San Antonio. Who was that? Fresno. Everybody up in here, y'all. Appreciate y'all for checking in. He said 8 inches in that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Wow.
8 inches in that.
All right, y'all. Well, I tell you what. Ask y'all questions, man. We're here to answer them. We supposed to have a special guest today. Let me check my phone, make sure they ain't try to contact me. Because that definitely happens.
Yeah. And while you're looking for them, I gotta tell my husband went on vacation to Miami. Okay. He's gonna go live his best life. So I gotta hop off at the top of the hour, but if all goes well, I saved her some sushi. She loves sushi, so when she gets home, give her some food and come back.
Okay, but I gotta hop off too. Okay. And at 4:30, I'm gonna hop off. So, yeah, we gonna make sure we don't go too long this week, y'all. We ain't gonna do the whole 2.5 hours like we've been doing. So. Let's see what else we got. Unless y'all want to, what I mean? Just because I lead don't mean the show got to stop. Y'all can keep it going as long as y'all want.
Yep.
All right. I see some questions coming on. We're going to jump right into them. Tranquility Hub says, I'll be there coming in from Los Angeles.
Oh,
Appreciate
nice.
you.
West
Arizona in the
Coast.
building. All right. Sister Cleaning Consultant says, okay, so I was listening last week and you guys were talking about get with a big cleaning company, a franchise, and in contract. How would you go about doing that? I think you said we were talking about how to get with them and then a franchise and contract. I think, well, I'll tell you what, we typically say don't do that. All right. So the only time I say do that, like either if you subcontract under a bigger company or if you actually buy a cleaning franchise, only time I recommend that you do that is if you are brand new and you just kind of get your experience up, or you're brand new and you absolutely broke and desperate and you ain't got no other choice, so you just taking what you can get. But typically, I do not recommend letting nobody come in over you and man, you know, every now and then the numbers might make sense and you can go ahead and do that. But typically, no, I think that you should get your contracts yourself. And then another thing too is everybody, we got to stop thinking that we need big contracts out the gate in order to get some money. I mean, you can get 5 medium ones or 5 small ones, you know what I mean, and equal up to the big one. Then once you get those, you combine the square footage of those ones that it'll equal the size of the big one. And now you can present yourself in front of the big one and then they'll know that they can trust you because you clean, 100,000 square foot before combined. You never had 100,000 square foot building, but at least you cleaned it combined. So don't always feel like you got to do that. And y'all want to jump in on that one or not? Cool.
I'm going to say, yeah, no, I think we touched on that, like you said last week. Also, the lives that we have been doing over the last few weeks, you guys, if you want to go view them, you can go onto any of our channels and view the past ones as well.
For sure. Also, by the way, I figured out how to tag the tickets now. So if y'all watching, let me see if it show up on the phone. But I know I checked it on the computer earlier and you actually, so it's right there at the bottom. So if you're on my channel right now, you can click the link right under the video. If you X the chat button out, it'll be a link right there that you can just click it, buy your ticket. That way you got to click all the way off on the video, y'all. So, but if you don't see that, still go to www.cbnconference.com and you can get your ticket. But I just remembered that. All right. Josh says, Wisconsin, appreciate you, AJ. And all, actually, my bad. I just skipped right over that. Shout out to Andrew, Adrian Hill, checking that from Atlanta. My bad. All right. But anyway, Wisconsin, appreciate you, AJ, and all. You all have taught me a lot. Quick question. What does a conversation with a subcontractor look like? What does a conversation with them look like? I mean,
I would think, I guess what Josh probably means like how to start one, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say, Go ahead.
Yeah, because I get, because at first I didn't know it, but you're right. So maybe he's saying like, I don't know. I really don't understand what you kind of asked, but I guess I'll answer the best of what I think you're trying to ask. For one, discuss how much what the splits are gonna be, right? Like, okay, bam, we'll pay you 30%, 70% or 75% or 60%. So maybe have that conversation, discuss the fact that they're going to be a 1099 contractor and not a W-2 employee. Therefore, you won't be taking taxes out, and therefore they need to make sure that they understand that they might owe a tax bill at the end of the year instead of getting a refund, or just make sure they understand the difference between how they're getting taxed. Other things, tell them get their own insurance. If you feel like they should have their own insurance, maybe not. I don't know. Just make sure they completely understand the difference between a W-2 employee and a contractor. That's pretty much all I got on it.
Yeah, I also didn't really understand the question, but I see also in the chat says, sorry, how to partner. Okay. So, but still, there's still a lot of questions, because I could be a subcontractor for somebody or I can hire a 1099, which is also called a subcontractor. So
Yep.
I'm a stand by. I think your answer was great, AJ.
All right. Now somebody get to skip the line. Shout out to Eric. By the way, I'm distracted because Carolyn just made me jealous. I saw you pick that drink up, and I'm like, damn, I can't do it because
I'm sorry.
I gotta meet my guys, man. I gotta meet my guys at 5:00 at the gym, and we're gonna do a group workout before we coach the kids. So, but I swear to God, won't for that. That wine looking good. At least
well, listen, we'll have a cold one in Vegas. Okay.
Oh, right.
All of us.
So
and you guys there, can meet us there for sure. Grab your tickets, you guys. We have 1 week left.
Yep, drinks on me. Meet us there. All right. And let's see. Eric says, thanks for the Q&A. are you all hiring virtually or in person? How do you know that you have a winner? Are you doing background checks or drug screens? What services do you recommend for background checks? Y'all want to jump in on a couple of these? I'll let y'all start. I talk too much.
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure. Carolyn, ditto. What do you say, Jinx? No, but anyway. So how are you hiring, virtually or in person? I mean, I think we're all hiring virtually, right? We're all trying to find people on the internet, but then
Yeah, both.
pretty much the hiring, yeah, but pretty much the hiring is in person. I mean, because it's cleaning, and I got to make sure that you do what you say you're going to do. And how do you know that you have a winner? Um, so this is, but I do my screening kind of differently when I'm hiring somebody. Like I don't do background checks or drug screens. Listen, if somebody's on drugs, you can kind of tell. I mean, I'm just
Right.
gonna tell you, you know. So you to be vigilant. I mean, keep your eyes peeled, open your eyes, pay attention when you're hiring these people. So basically, what I do is their first interview is a clean, because I do Airbnb for everybody who doesn't know. I do Airbnb cleaning, and I won't know unless you do it. That's how I do things. Everybody might do something differently. I kind of made this up. This is not traditional how people normally hire people, but if I want to hire somebody and I need them to be the right person for the job, I mean, honestly, hiring starts with the job posts for me. I do tell this all the time that at the very bottom, I have some questions. And when they contact me, if they answer those questions, then I will call them back. A lot of the times those questions don't seem obvious. And a lot of people might just say, I'm interested in the job, instead of answering those questions that I asked them. So those people who didn't answer the questions already get chopped off. I already know you don't pay attention. So you're out, you know, before you can even get an interview. You can't pay attention. I can see that. And so when I say, okay, this Sunday we have an Airbnb, you can come and clean. You will get paid for it, but this is your test. Clean. A lot of people get nervous. Well, get nervous. This is a job, you know. I want to hire the right person. So, but I don't hover. So I try not to make people too nervous. So, okay, come show up, do the clean. And what I do is, you know, how I hire people, I kind of teach them tell them what to do, and then leave and then come back. And there are times where I've left and come back, and, you know, the glass table looks worse than what I left it with, you know? So
Right.
you already know somebody's on something, literally.
Right.
So then you got to just cut it off. And so it is a lot of work. For me, it's like work in the beginning and not a lot of work, but it's work in the beginning. And then you go on from there. But, you know, just think about the kind of people you want to hire and hire those people. So with that, I don't have a problem even keeping people, because yeah, I don't do a background check. I mean, a criminal is a criminal. There's some people,
Right.
there's some people who are criminal and they don't even have anything on their background. So it's
Right.
like I can't base it on that.
You
I
can't.
don't want to base it on that. So
Yeah, literally everything you said, Mila, I did. Like, it's crazy how much even little, like, for example, I used to do online applications, and it's like, we'll put a little quick questionnaire up there. And if they wouldn't even answer those, they just submit it because they wouldn't make them. That right there kind of tell, oh, hell, if you can't even, if I say go to the website and fill out the application when they ask me we hiring, they can't even go through that process. It's like, you know what, never mind. You ain't qualified to do this job. You can't even follow those damn instructions. So it's like, little stuff like that. The fact that if they actually show up for the interview, because hell, you schedule 10 of them at one time, because typically most people ain't even gonna show up. You know what I mean? So will they actually show up? I also used to make sure I held those interviews on a Friday evening on purpose at the building that they were gonna probably clean. And if they wouldn't show up on a Friday evening, they probably won't show up to work on a Friday evening. So little stuff like that, I try to make it difficult on purpose. I didn't want it to be a convenient time for the interview. What else we got? How do you know you got a winner? I typically can tell just in their attitude, their responses when I'm asking them certain questions. You know what I mean? Like, go-getters is go-getters. They're going to know, like, if you say, okay, well, what happens if the customer asks you to clean this office over here and we typically don't clean that one, well, how would you react? Based on their response, I can know, you know what I mean? All right, this person might be the right fit. Because if they respond like, oh no, I'm gonna tell them we don't do that. Because see, I done this before, and at my old J, I always try to get to do it extra, and they don't pay. They doing all this rah shit, and it's like, nah, I don't need none of that. And that versus, well, I probably would, go ahead and do it this time, and then but I would definitely let them know that we typically, this is not included in the scope of work, but we'll go ahead and do it this time and take care of it. And I'll have them resort to you or something like that. But if they give me something better than basically, no, I'm not doing it, period, and fussing, like, okay, you probably got the right attitude. So it's more so just listen to, how they respond to the questions you ask. As far as background checks, I got a link for you. Go to bscaibackgroundchecks.com. That's one resource for you. And then also your local police department, I think, or sheriff's department, between them two, they'll do them for you as well. But again, I didn't do background checks either. I'm with Milo on it. Same thing with drugs. It's like, shit, I know people on drugs that clean their ass off just fine. So I kind of didn't care if they was on drugs, as long as you don't kind of work looking like it or smelling like it or acting like it, right? So that's my part on that. And then what services do you recommend for? I already did that. So that's my 2 cents on that one.
No, I came across some people with some harder drugs. Okay, now they could not work for me.
Right.
They could not function. Okay. I was like, okay, you got to go. Because you can't even do this job around here. You can tell.
Yeah. So they, typically with them is the stealing part. That'd be the main thing I'd be worried about.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Stacy Brown. Oh, that's right. We got to go back to the top now. I skipped to him because he did super chat. Shout out to you again for that super chat. Appreciate that. Where were we? We were here. How do you find your first contracts? we got to do this every week. It's never gonna stop. I've been doing this shit for almost a decade, answering the same question. I'm gonna keep doing it too, like it's brand new. Yeah, man. I mean, you get out here, you go do it. Man, fuck this shit. But y'all answer doing it.
So I think I think you might be asking like how we specifically got our first contracts. How did you find your first contracts?
Okay,
so I can tell you, actually Google was really how I found my first few commercial contracts. We had our Google My Business set up, and we made sure that even though we weren't providing commercial cleaning yet, that was a service that we had listed. And yeah, just from having a decent profile with a couple of reviews, we were able to be found whenever somebody put in commercial cleaning near me. So
you want to go next?
No, go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, okay. I would say for us, I was with a franchise initially, so they found it for me. When I started getting my own contracts, though, it was door-to-door. We went door-to-door with flyers, and then my wife walked in there, got it in touch with the point of contact. We scheduled a walkthrough with them and closed the deal. So door-to-door. Yeah,
and for me, of course, I wanted to do Airbnb, but I felt like I had to get comfortable cleaning in somebody's place before I even, while I was trying to start the business and trying to find how I'm going to find those clients. I'm like, okay, let me start getting uncomfortable and going and cleaning for other people, even though it wasn't what I wanted to do, which was the vacation rental cleaning. So I think I got like my first cleans on like Thumbtack just to get comfortable, just to prepare myself and go and get my supplies and have my mop and bucket and think about what I have to bring and, how to tackle a room or a house or an apartment. But how I got my first Airbnb client, I put a post on Craigslist and I got my first two in a weekend, the first weekend.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, I'm going to stop these questions right here because we got special guests in the building now. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on up. Miss Ericka Williams, y'all. What's good, Ericka?
Hey. How you guys doing out here? We're out here on this Texas time.
Hey.
You out there with me.
Hey.
Right.
Hey.
Yeah. So without further ado, we got Miss Ericka Williams from the Classy Climb blog. And I'll just let you go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about your background because you probably can do it better than I can.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your girl, Ericka, from the Classy Climb blog. I'm out here. Service businesses has been a part of my past and part of my future. Part of when I first was on YouTube, I had a friend. I worked in a property management, and I saw a young guy make like $500,000 cleaning apartments. And then I saw a guy make $500,000 painting apartments. And so I was like, wait a minute. They ain't even the guys cleaning, and they ain't even the guys painting. I need to know more. So I've always had a special spot for service businesses because they've helped me in the past, and they've helped me out actually recently. So I'm here. I'm a
Okay.
YouTuber. You guys can Google me.
Right. Fair enough. And I just remember we didn't even do our intros today either. So I'll go next. I'm AJ Simmons, founder of the Clean Business Network. Been on this channel just pretty much telling people what I knew how to do for a long time. And then cleaning ended up being a niche that worked for me. And I just started sharing that journey along the way. Eventually came up with the idea of a Clean Business Network. And we've just been helping people start and grow cleaning companies for a long, long time now.
I'm Mila, the housekeeper. I'm in Houston, based out of Houston, Texas. I go by Mila, the housekeeper on the internet, on YouTube. I have a channel on Instagram. I'm trying to work on everything else, but I'm also still trying to chill and have a life.
Hey, Houston. Houston is in the building. That's what Houston is doing.
I've been cleaning Airbnbs the past 7 years, exclusively Airbnb in the Airbnb cleaning and services space. And always growing. And yeah, that's what I do. I also do consulting with the space, Airbnb cleaning. And I have a course out there. It's on AJ's Clean University, CBN University. And that's me. Go on, Carolyn.
Hey, everybody. I'm Carolyn Arellano. I have a full service cleaning business based out of New Jersey. I also do some consulting work and do a lot of YouTubing. So check me out at Carolyn Arellano. I have a ton of videos up there to talk about all things cleaning and business.
All right.
I'm also a CBN member.
Thank you. Right. So with that said, now I'm going to pivot the conversation a little bit because first off, Ericka is also going to be speaking at the Clean Business Network conference here on February 28th through March 1st. Y'all go to cbconference.com, get your ticket, y'all. And so I'll just tell you my perspective of Ericka and why I wanted her speaking. Let's speak and clap for that. My bad, y'all. We'll be speaking at the Clean Business Network conference. So I wanted her to speak because, quite frankly, she just a beast on this internet, man. She been doing it for a long, long time. And I had an accident. That was my fault. But she been getting it for a long time, and a lot of my viewers are her viewers as well, right here on YouTube. You know what I mean? She been doing it. I'm pretty sure she's been here longer than I have. And so everybody been requesting her, and I'm like, all right, hey, I'll reach out to her. I honestly didn't think she would even agree to do it. She agreed to do it. That was nice enough to come out, so I appreciate that. And yeah, man. So we want to kind of pick your brain, and we can just kind of keep it clean and business centric because I think a lot of us now, we either are at a point where we kind of scale our companies to where we got a little more time. People want to start diversifying their income streams a little bit. So just kind of tell us about what are some of the ways that you've been making money in general in the online space as possible. However, whatever you can share, and then we'll kind of tell our questions after you share them.
Well, basically information is one of the easiest businesses in America, right? There's something someone doesn't know. We're here to help them, either consulting, guiding them. 9 times out of 10, I'm usually helping people start a business, go from 0 to their first 100,000. That's the majority of my clients. But when I talked about in the past, when I was working, I was like, well, how does this guy make all this money, with these painting these apartments? And he was like, oh, I build the apartment complex and I make sure I have these guys fulfill it. And I'm like, well, how are you finding these guys? He's like, well, they tell each other. And so I go to lunch with this guy and I find out, all the information. And that was like the button that changed that day at work. Cause I was an apartment billings manager. If you don't know what a billings manager is, we do all the work. The apartment manager in the front gets all the glory, right? You know what I mean? You mad at me because you ran late. And I'm like, just do the paper. I'm just doing the numbers. Please stop beating me up.
Okay.
And so I literally was like, man, like, we're referring people left and right out of this office because there's traffic constantly coming through it. And so I would always see some Hispanic guys or different guys that were younger come get some keys, paint some units, be gone. But I'd always see him if we had an issue, right? He'd show up and I'd be like, where this guy been, right? And so he was 34. And so as I'm talking to him, he's just like, oh, let me show you how to do it. And I want you guys to kind of like relax your mental standards about how business is acquired, because it's a service business. There's always someone who needs your service. And this is one of the things I try to get people to understand. Like, even now, I'm an owner of a foam install company. And you're like, oh my God, Ericka, that's so different. I promise you it's not. People have a problem with their home not being warm enough. We find guys to help that we can train in less than 3 days because of the way the techniques are now. And we get them to those jobs. A lot of times when I was growing up, we had a family member who had a cleaning company in North Carolina. She still does to this day. She's a little older. She ain't doing the cleaning, but we would always say, well, how do you have so much business, right? Because she would go with us to our beach trips. She'd have a nice car. We were like, man, Miss Glenda got some money. She got a Cadillac. But what it was is Miss Glenda kept getting referred to other people's houses. And she would always come across people who needed work. And what people have to understand with any cleaning, any service business, a lot of this stuff is referral and letting people, let them know what you do. How can you help somebody if they have no clue what you do? And so I always tell people we're not selling people on our services. We're persuading, and persuading is a whole different thing. I'm just guiding you to what you need. And 9 times out of 10, if somebody's calling you about cleaning, hey, they know, not only do they know their company, they know other people. So I just always tell people you got to think a little bit bigger when it comes to a lot of these businesses, is because you're really just persuading. Because if you're scared to tell somebody, well, I own a cleaning company, or hey, I'm Mila, I do cleaning, Airbnb. They're like, okay, well, why are you ashamed? What you doing that for? You got to be confident with it. You got to be, hey, I'm in Houston. We have this company that does all these Airbnbs. That person's like, man, if they're that confident and they're doing that, man, I got to reach out to them because they can help me. Now he's done told all his friends that have any issue, any hiccup, any day of the week with their Airbnb. Now, oh yeah, I got this girl. Here's her number. And because now he's a solution bringer. It's all about persuasion. It's the art of persuasion, and we persuade for good. That's what we're doing. We're persuading for good. And so that's mostly what I talk about. That's mostly how I show people how easily, like we talk about Stanley Cups, we can talk about our business. As easy as we talk about them Dallas Cowboys, we can talk about our business. Right. And we just have to kind of get that.
What is the Stanley Cup stuff, y'all? I am not in the loop at all. I saw Mila post earlier today. And see, one thing about me, even though I'm in the loop, I'm a very fast learner. So I said, apparently this must be some trendy thing going on. But you just said, I seen her pro. What the hell is going on with this Stanley Cup?
You said it. It's a trend. It's a trend for.
Well, 2 weeks ago, I saw on Instagram, so there was somebody fighting at the Target Starbucks.
Okay.
And I was thinking, what are they fighting for? And apparently it's for this cup.
Yeah.
And and so I saw that, and then I'm drinking out of this cup. So I put it on Instagram, and one of my friends said, is that a Stanley Cup? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, where in my house looks like a Stanley Cup? Because I thought he was talking about the hockey.
The
hockey award, and I'm like, and I looked at my video again. I'm like, what looks like a Stanley Cup in my house? And so I'm like, what do you think is a Stanley Cup? And he's like, your cup you're drinking out. I'm like, what the hell is a Stanley Cup? Right. And I was like, is that the cup people are fighting about at Starbucks? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, this is so dumb. I don't even know what's going on.
That's funny.
But yeah, so he made that meme for me. He put me in that meme with all the Stanley Cups around and people drinking out of them and have a real Stanley Cup.
The Homer meme.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's affiliate marketing at its absolute best. Stanley Cup's been around 100 years. They're the original mugs guys took into the coal mine.
Yep.
And that guys in North Carolina carry around. If there's a couple vintage stores, you can still get some of those vintage ones. They're quite expensive. But what happened is, like every company, man, we've been around 100 years. We're doing decent. We need some fresh ideals. We need some fresh legs. How can we get back into the marketplace and get everybody's attention? We got some young people on team. We reach out to about 30 to, I think they reached out to 300 influencers. I'm not certain. And the actual big number, and got all these influencers at the same time kind of talking about it. Now, you may saw it on the internet where there was a car that was on fire. It had burnt up, and in the console was a Stanley Cup. And everybody's like, what is that cup that made it through the fire? Now, if you know anything about affiliate marketing, which we do a ton of it over at Classy Climb, but this is a classic fake moment, right? That is generated by a company for the viral, it happens all the time. It's a new thing companies do. And
that's what about that. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. And so hashtag everybody's like, do you see the car fire? Do you see the car fire? You see the cup that made it through the car fire? And of course we were like, what is the cup? Stanley Cup. And then now you start seeing hundreds of influencers share this video. You see hundreds of influencers show you their Stanley Cup. And all it does is a trickle down effect. If we all have 1,000 people, right? And we show up on stage and we're like, man, this is the best cup I've ever had in my life. And we put it down. Every single person that follows us is going to do what? They're going to either Google Stanley Cup.
It up. Yeah.
They're gonna, or a percentage of our audience is gonna buy Stanley Cup.
Right.
So at that point, it becomes a trend, and at that point, it becomes trending. And at that point, now you're Googling it, and kids or TikTokers are looking at it, and they're doing dances and all this other stuff, right? So it's a super trend. That's what it is. It's just a super trend, and the company, we should give them a round of applause because they just did amazing viral moment that turned into $100 million.
And you do something.
Focus, people. Why do we care that a cup survived the death? Go buy another cup, people. It's okay. Life is gonna go be all right. I don't get it at all.
That's why I want to ask Ericka too, because it's like, Ericka, you do a great job at like keeping up, using current events to teach business lessons. Like that's pretty much how you run your channel. And I'm like, I don't know how, because I can't. Because if I know what's going on, I get distracted with my shit. You know what I mean? It's like, how the hell do you do that? Like,
I'm doing this. I'm focusing in life, right? I'm working on my little projects. I'm working on my YouTube. Sometimes I will go to my Instagram and I'll have 100 messages where my students are sending me DMs. Did you see this? Did you see this? And sometimes I'll tell my VA, like, if it's something I need to see, let me know, and hit a like or a heart, and I'll go back and look at it. And because it's dangerous, you get over there, you be in a rabbit hole. But so then I'll see some of them, and they're either educational, automation, or a viral moment, and I'm able to just pick those moments up and go do a live on my show and be like, hey guys, you know what this is, right? This is literally affiliate marketing. There's people making like millions of dollars a year affiliate marketing, just talking about different placements, different things that change their life. It's a whole system, and it's too easy. I mean, it's too easy at this point. Like, I don't have to do it. They just did the legwork. So if 100 people sending me a video, I hop on YouTube and I say, oh my God, did y'all see that video y'all keep sending me about the teacher in New Jersey that fell or something? Like, I literally am using what's trending, what's being sent to me, and use it in your marketing.
Okay.
Again, anytime people are mad about something or life or work or something they saw injustice online, I'm like, and this is the best time for you to understand why you need to own your own business and be able to have some income that you can count on that's outside your job. And that's always my pivot. I'm like, I'm only here to help you make more money, invest the difference, and live well. And that should be our focus. Every time we see something crazy online, something crazy happen at school with kids, okay, what can I do about this? Because if not, we're just pissed. We're just kind of moaning about something we saw on the internet. You know what I mean? So it's always to a solution base.
Okay. Now, I know you've been selling courses for a while too. I get a lot of people who want to sell courses now too, because hell, they see me do it. You know what I mean? They're like, I'm living pretty good now, so they're trying to make that pivot and go into that space as well. What advice would you give to somebody that's trying to get into the online space? That like, they probably coming from a cleaning background. I got other entrepreneurs. They're coming from like a service industry background, and they're trying to pivot it more to making money online, whether it be selling courses, whether it be affiliate marketing or something of that nature. Like, just general advice could you get?
So the biggest thing I tell people is document and share the journey, right? Let's not overthink it. If you're doing something great, let's say you're doing roofing and you're sharing pictures every day of you being on roof, you got your phone number up there, you're posting, hey man, if you got any jobs, you're looking for me here, you got somebody needs their roof checked out for free. You're getting leads, right? For free information all day. People are seeing it. People are seeing you on roof. People are like, man, look at him on his Instagram, right? If you turn around and say, hey, you guys, I'm teaching a free roofing training over here at the hotel for $97. Catch me on Saturday. You know what I mean? Catch me on Saturday, $97 for 4 hours. I'm gonna teach you about roofing and how to make $100,000 this year. Guess what's gonna happen? Those people have been watching and following. A percentage of those people are gonna come to that event. It's really overcomplicated all the time. I always tell people, only teach courses on something you've actually done. It helps you in your conversation. But even when I put together Middleman to Millions course, which is service-based related, every person that came on had a service business and was telling us how they created it and how they get leads and how they do this. And I'm like, y'all see the similarities? We had 3 of your students actually on there speaking, right? About clean. Okay. Right. So, shout out to you, right? We had some of your students, they spoke. And so it's like, everybody's like, wow, they're giving us this information. Like, they're not keeping it to themselves. Like, I'm like, no, information. And I always tell people this, and no disrespect, ideals are useless. Execution is everything.
That's it.
Like, I get on phone, people are like, I need you to sign an NDA before I can tell you my ideal. I'd be like, baby, let me promise you, you can keep it. You can keep it. I don't even want to know. Like, because 9 times out of 10, it's, are you going to do anything with it? And so you've been giving people information for years. And sometimes we could come on this internet and tell somebody every step 1 through 100, and they're just like, oh, I don't know. Well, here, I'm gonna package it for you, because these are the top 18 questions you keep asking me anyway, and you can watch those videos on repeat. And that's literally how, courses are created. Have a consult button up there. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally like we're just helping solve problems for other people. That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
Because people are like, where are people selling courses? I'm like, have you went online? Have you seen the millions of people who are like, I don't know, I need to Google something, and they still aren't. They're not finding their answer. That's why. So.
Yep, that's a fact. And I want to ask you this before I'm gonna jump back into the questions that we got here. But I want to ask you this before we go to those. What can we expect from you as far as like what you're going to speak about once we get to the Clean Business Network conference, February 28th through March 1st in Las Vegas? Y'all get y'all tickets at www.cbnconference.com. Every single person you see right now will be on that stage. But Ericka, what can we expect to hear from you on the stage at the conference?
Man, you're probably going to see a giant cowboy hat on stage. My hair's going to be braided. You already know. I'm going to have my color suit on. I love it. I'm going to bring either the gold suit or the green suit. One of the two, right? Now, the biggest thing I want to teach you guys about is being able to comfortably persuade about your business. And that's the nicest way I'll put it, to comfortably persuade about your business, in 5 ways you can do that, and how it's changed my life. And it's helped put a lot of money in my pocket and helped put a lot of other people money in their pocket. So, it applies to multiple types of service businesses. I've owned a painting company. I've owned a fencing company. They both made over $350,000 in 2 years. And I was able to sell those because I had good structure and I had good systems. And so I always tell people, like, don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. But there's a few tips and things I want to share with your clients and your students while we're at the conference about how they can make it easier for themselves and for their workers.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to it, Eric. I can't wait to get there. So we're going to jump in.
Wait. I was going to say, shout out to Made in Full. I like that title. Made in Full.
Made in Full. Shout out to Made in Full.
That's it. Go ahead.
That is hard, actually. I didn't even see that. I was way at the top and started the questions. All right, let's see. And that remind me of my other channel, Everybody Eat, Paid in Full, Made in Full. Anyway, so Sister Cleaning. Now we got that one already. What else we got? And feel free to jump in at any time if you got anything of value, because obviously a lot of it's going to be cleaning specific. But if you got anything, please feel free. All right, switch a date. Did I get him already? Starting out? No, I didn't. I have a question around price, and I'm starting off, and I read a book that recommends charging by the hour to keep customer cleaning prioritized on specific areas. What's your opinion? I am a one-man show. Well, I'll tell you this, when it comes to pricing, you being a one-man show has absolutely nothing to do with it. So that was a mistake I made early starting on, that I would charge based around what I was trying to make and what I thought I was worth, and it has absolutely nothing to do with me, right? So if you charge based around just you, then guess what happens? As you start to grow and try to scale, it ain't gonna be enough money there to pay somebody else to go do it, because that's ultimately what you should be trying to do. So number one, get that part out the way. The next thing is charging by the hour. Can you do it? Yes, people have done it, but is it standard in the industry? No, not in my experience. He said, starting off, I read a book recommended it. And again, what type of cleaning are you doing? So if this is commercial cleaning, that's not standard at all. I've seen people get away with it in the residential side, but definitely not for commercial. That's my sense on it. What y'all got?
Yeah, I heard the same thing when I was starting my business, something about hourly. But when I try to tie it to my business, hourly wouldn't work, because me being the person to start out cleaning Airbnbs, I realized, if I'm going to clean like 3 2-bedrooms houses in a day, by the time I get to the third one, I'm going to be pretty tired. So I'm going to stop by Whataburger. I'm going to get my burger. I'm going to sit there, turn on the TV, eat my food, and then work. But what if I paid somebody hourly, and what if they wanted to take a break? I don't want to tell you only have an hour break. I don't like that. I never liked that. So you can make your schedule, but it is per unit. And because I can come up with a calculation of how long it takes. You have to know how long it takes. Then I can pay my cleaner per unit and not per hour.
Right. So
yeah, I feel like hourly people, they kind of don't like that. Well, especially like AJ said, in commercial, that doesn't work. It's per month. And then, it obviously breaks down to how many hours times what are you charging. But to present it at hourly, In the beginning, I feel like it might be a little difficult only because you don't even know how long it's going to take you. So if I was a client, I wouldn't so much mind it if you knew, right? Like you said, okay, a home your size typically takes 3 hours. Anything more is additional. But if I said, well, how long is it going to take? And you just be like, I don't know, maybe 5 to 8 hours, that's kind of scary. So I would do flat rate, try to quote as best as you can, thinking how long it would actually take you. Always quote up a little bit because you're guaranteed to underbid yourself. And start just keeping track of your clean times, like the different types of cleans. Commercial, how long does it take you to vacuum? How long does it take you to do all these different tasks? Because then you'll be able to, if you wanted to in the future, quote hourly with homes anyway, you'd have a better idea of how long it'll take.
My biggest thing is going to tell you reverse engineer any and everything you do. So we're here in Austin, Texas. I don't see a deep luxury clean for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment for anything less than $200 to $300 for that time. They just say, hey, our cleaners are going to be there in a 2-hour window. They may take an hour or 2 to clean. They don't know, right? They're giving a range. And so you're going to make sure you want to give yourself a range, but you also want to look, what is the common pricing for residential cleaning in my area? If I'm in Austin, Texas, and I'm on Bee Cave side of Austin, it's higher. You're going to make more money, but you better be detailed and bring a team of 1 or 2 people or a team of 2 or 3 people. So understand, like, you want to be in line with pricing, because the first thing I see, if you're way under, you're not going to get booked. Why? Because they're suspicious, right? It doesn't align with what's going on in the area. So you want to kind of keep in line with that. If you're focusing on commercial, man, that's a little bit tougher. And you usually kind of ask the client, what is the price range they're looking for? Preferably, because even where I have one of our offices, I've seen cleaning teams just rotate out of that thing, right? And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, well, we ask them what's kind of their price range, and we see if we can fulfill it in that time frame. If not, we ask for more. So I see them come through the office and clean out most of the offices pretty fast at night. But it's really just reverse engineering what's around you and keeping it real simple that way.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Now the next one, we got Cleanovation TV. I like that name. And now we might have to check your channel out. That's a nice name. I'm assuming you must got some videos over there. But my wife and I have hit a glass ceiling of $5,000, and we are looking to break that. Any advice? I guess my first piece of advice would be, are you setting goals? So 1, what's the goal? What you trying to get to from 5 to what? 10, 12, 20? So number 1, set the goal. And then, as Ericka literally just said, reverse engineer. So, all right, how are we going to get there? What type of clients do you already have right now? Do you have mostly houses? Do you have buildings? Do you got 5 $1,000 a month buildings? Do you got, you know what I mean? Like, break it down, figure out what you got. How did you get those? Okay. How did you get the walkthrough to get those? Right. So then it's like, okay, what did you so do the math on it? So now once we just reversed that, just talked about reversing. So now we're going to go back up. Okay, bam. You want to get 10 more $1,000 a month buildings to add on to that 5 and make it 10, right? Or you want to get 5 more, however many you need. Okay. Well, how many calls do we need to make to get X amount of walkthroughs? How many walkthroughs do you need to get to close the first account? So if you do every 5 walkthroughs, you get 1 contract closed. Okay. So how many calls do you need made to get 5 walkthroughs? Or how many emails do you need to send? Or how many doors do you need to go pass a flyer out to? Or how many leads do you need to buy? Whatever you've been doing to get customers before, just multiply that effort. Now, you might say, okay, well, we got a job. We don't have time to do that. Okay, well, buy some leads. You're going to either take time or you're going to make some money. So figure out what you're going to use to put into that business and just grow it. So that would be my, but definitely set the goal and figure out, reverse engineer. Okay, now what are we going to do to get to that goal? That's pretty much it.
You said it.
No, that's it. I did that good. Nobody. All right.
Not good. I mean,
yeah, that was good.
Keep it rolling. All right. Well, next case, I'm gonna shut up. Then I'll let somebody go first. All right. Louisiana says, "Do any of you quit your day job to start your business?" I wish I should. I might still talk about this, but anyway, any of you quit your day job to start your business? I work 12 hours a day, and I feel my job is on the way to focus on this business. I've registered my company, but I haven't started. So basically, she's saying that we quit our job to start our business because she's working 12 hours a day and she feel like that's in the way to start a business. So I'll shut up, but I'm definitely going to speak on it. But y'all can go first.
Well,
so I didn't.
Go ahead, Karen.
I was going to say I didn't quit my job to start the business. So yeah, my situation was completely different. But yeah, so I can't really give too much back on this.
Well, let's explain why you didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, meaning no, like I didn't have a job. Like that was the problem.
Okay.
Like I started.
I knew where she was going.
No, I'm sorry. I started my cleaning business because I didn't have a job. Yeah, that's what happened. And it worked out great. So I can't answer like I wish I had a job to leave. I mean, that would have been kind of dope. But you guys go ahead and be like, fuck you guys, I'm out.
No, but at the end of the day, she wants to know if she can do it with her work, but you did it with absolutely no work. I mean, that's a little more fire under your butt too. So
kind of proved that she can do it if she wanted to walk out right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. It could be done. Yeah. Do I suggest it? No. So the stress ain't it. Right.
No. I don't recommend anyone quit their job, and I've told this for years. I was working still in property management. I was what were we doing? We had I would answer the phone calls after 5. Like if people had problems with payments for the painting and fencing, right? Because our friends would go do the painting and fencing jobs during mom hours, what we call mom hours, like 10 to 5, right? They'd be like either repairing fences or painting. And so, you get your calls where they're like, hey, I want to make a payment, but I don't want to pay your guys. This is where I learned different lessons. So I'd be there on this phone, like I'm a professional, which was a cell phone after work hours, right? Sometimes it was during the day, but I'd have to sneak off. What changed the tipping point was when I was getting so many calls at work, I couldn't ignore them because the guys were so busy. And that was kind of me and my friend's deal is like, I'll go do the work, but I don't want to handle payment. I don't got time. I just want to paint and be done and go on about my, day. He was our worker. And when I went on YouTube, because I was doing YouTube, sticking to do YouTube at night, I went on someone's show. I did an interview, Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I had 600 paid consultations. And I looked at my phone, both one ringing about painting and people's questions and comments. And hey, the painter left this or did that. And I want to pay right now over the phone. And I realized I can't sit here. I can't sit here another day. I can't because it's a super conflict of interest. Like I have to finish out these 600 paid consultations. I didn't know no better. I put like a PayPal link out there and they went crazy. And so you want to be so busy that you look at the amount of money you will miss with your business that you're like, I have to leave. And that was what happened. The painting company did so well in 1 month after we had opened it for like 3 months, but it did so well. And we had to split it too, because it was just so much work on 2 different sides and the power of referral. So what I rather you do, and this is me not telling you advice, this is me in my opinion, is once you start on the weekend, just dedicate your Saturday. Hey, Saturday's for the business because you got to have a little something saved for yourself. And a lot of times people come home from work and they go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch Netflix and I'm going to eat some good food and I'm going to chill. So you got to save a little bit, even if it's an hour a day for yourself and for your business. And like you said earlier, do you want to just buy some leads and get yourself running, get a good start, and you have your cleaner start working, and now it's so much work. You have to turn off your job. And that's what I'd rather you do. But again, it's just my opinion. It's just a little bit of my history. I just looked up at work one day and one phone's ringing nonstop. And the other place I'm trying to figure out how to schedule 600 phone calls. You know what I mean? It was time to go. I had outgrew my position. So you want to outgrow your position. That's what you prefer.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, in my case, I had a job. I wanted to start a business, but I was super scared. Yeah. And so I'm just going to talk on the other perspective because Ericka, you seem very ambitious, but I'm ambitious too, but in a different way. Like I was not doing that while I was working. I was scared to get found out and all that stuff.
Oh, they had made me mad by then. I was ready to go. Girl, them girls was rude. I was like,
I know that.
Keep on talking. Keep on talking.
The first time I started a business, I was threatened to get fired. And they put me on the program. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's like 30 days or 60 days. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take that time instead of like being a better employee. I'm going to take that time to start my own business. So, because like if I do get fired, then that would be my fallback is my business and not trying to find another job because now having a job is not safe anymore. Well, if you're somebody who has a regular job and it's a safe and comfortable place, it's kind of hard to ever leave that, especially if you want to have a business. I asked God, can you give me some sign? And God kicked me out of there. And I was like, okay, well, now am I going to do what I say I'm going to do? Or I'm going to run back to this job? And then when I started housekeeper, I didn't have a job either. I didn't have any money and I didn't have anything. I barely had a roof over my head. So yeah, I mean, anything can happen if you want it to happen, all in all.
Well, see, I always challenge people on the word ambitious. We are built to connect. We're built to contribute. We're built to build and create. And so that tinkering in you is like, okay, 30 days, you're on suspension. You're in trouble. Even before that, though, you were tinkering. You were building.
Yeah.
That's that word, that building, tinkering is ambition. Because once you see it's like once you see the answer on a paper and they can show you 5 other things, it's too late. You're already convinced. You know the answers on the paper. You know you can do it. And I just want people to understand, like, sometimes we're nervous. And I always tell people, careful of the words you speak out loud, because what happens is, 12 hours is too much. Instead, start telling yourself, I'm capable of handling this. I'm capable of handling this job. I'm capable of not being overwhelmed. I'm worthy to build something for myself. I think I can do it. You got to be careful of the words we use, right? Because it's there for us, right? We're speaking to our subconscious. And if you tell yourself every day, I'm just so tired, this job is in my way, I can't start my business till I don't have a job. We want that job to maintain us for the next 90 days till we really grow that business. Because if you grow a business in scarcity, now I gotta wait for you to elevate your brain to get out of scarcity, right? There's this beautiful Black woman. She's talked about never sell when you're hungry, because you'll undercut yourself. Never sell when you're hungry. You'll undercut yourself. You'll low build yourself, and you'll build this business in a scarcity mindset instead of an abundance mindset. That there's unlimited homes, there's unlimited people, there's unlimited ways for me to help folks. But yeah, I love hearing how people like left their job, because usually it's like they're tinkering and then their job's like, hey, you better stop tinkering over there. But it's too late. You can't stop a fire once it starts building. So that's just my little shit on that.
Yeah, and a lot of what I'm about to say is basically hints of everything that was said before. And as first of all, I got a famous phrase I like to say, was gonna go ahead and get it out the way now. Fuck that job. So let's go ahead and get that out the way right now.
FTJ.
So I ain't telling you to leave out right this second, because I don't know your situation, right? I don't know how many kids you got, how many bills you got, all that type of stuff, right? So obviously the answer is going to be different for each unique situation. But don't feel like you're married to that damn job, though. They working you 12 hours a week. Hey, if you can get out here and find another job that pays you almost the same, or maybe even the same, but for less hours, and get done. So number one, try to find a better job now this job, even though they're working 12 hours a day, what if it's a home-based job? Well, shit, keep that job and just go ahead and do the 12 hours, because now you got the freedom. You can go walk through. So you know what I mean? You can get out here and do all that type of stuff that you need to do to go to the business. So number one, what type of job is it? Can you still do this while you keep the job? If you know you can't, go ahead and get out of it. I mean, start finding something else. Now, I don't think you're going to leave that joint and just go start a cleaning business tomorrow. And nah, it ain't going to work. It can. You can get a customer tomorrow, but 9 times out of 10, it ain't going to work like that, right? So go ahead, figure out a better job that's more conducive to what you're trying to do. Maybe do some ride sharing if you're able to do it. You got a license and all that in the car. Maybe do some ride sharing. Find some hustles. Get on fucking Fiverr. Maybe you know how to do stuff like that. See if one of us is hired. We always hire VAs and virtual workers, right? So do something like that. See if you can find something that's a little bit more conducive, that give you a little bit more freedom, and then build a business on the side. Now, me personally, I did walk off my job. I tried to wait. I had like this whole month-long plan, all of that type of stuff. But I just walked in that shit one day and I was just like, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm out of here. But I didn't really, but Ericka, I'm glad you said what you said, because you made me realize you're right though. It was one that was, I had already outgrown it. See, I was already doing a certain amount in my cleaning company already. You know what I mean? And